Thanks, John. Oh, okay. I'm just sharing that.
Thanks for coming tonight, Jerry. Calling the, Public Works meeting for April 23rd, 2024 to order. Please call the roll.
Counselor Crampits,
Here.
Labrie,
Here.
Brooks, Lushane,
Yeah.
Pania Costello.
Counselor Corshane is, on via Zoom. Any other? In compliance with, and I'm sorry, Doug Ellis from, engineering is here. In compliance with the open meeting laws of the city of Chicopee is recording this meeting. Is anyone else in the audience or on Zoom video or audio taping this meeting? If so, please state your name and organization. Anyone here recording or on Zoom recording? We'll proceed to item 1, be it ordered that the Public Works Committee hold a public hearing for an update on the DPW special account for roads and sidewalks and safety improvements. This order was filed by Councilor Pania Costello, and since she's a member of the committee, I'll let her start off by why she filed the order, and we'll go from there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess got some money for thank you. City got money for sidewalks and other improvements, so, I do have a petition in regards to sidewalks, asking the city if they could install sidewalks, from the corner of James Street and Malcolm to Whistler Avenue. And on that, this is a brief petition, and there were 1, 2, 3, it looks like 4, 5, 6 people that are agreeable to get sidewalks on James Street, and that would be on the south side of James Street, traveling west on James Street. So this petition I'm going to put as part of our record. There was one person that said no, and they said they did not want the sidewalks on that particular area. So I just wanted to know if Mr. Ellis, the engineer, could give us a brief summary in regards to any money that's come in for sidewalks.
We're probably going to pause for a moment, as I think Liz is trying to get a hold of
Be
the
careful.
meeting, am I correct?
Yes, Liz is trying to log, she's having trouble logging in right now.
Okay, so
I
there you
hate
go.
to have you repeat it again, but I think Doug was a little distracted,
I'm
so
sorry about that.
we're gonna wait a moment for, Liz to be able to connect.
Okay.
We'll move forward. And after that, yeah, we'll have.
Can I ask you a question? Through the
Sure.
chair?
Yeah.
Through the chair, how many people are on that side of the street?
That I don't know. Not that many, though. You must know where it is.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's a few houses. Off the top of my head, I can count maybe 9 or 10 going from the corner down to the middle of James Street. Once you get behind, past a certain area, there aren't any houses on that side at all. About bordering the, you're bordering the river. So. Kitty.
Liz, can you hear us?
Yeah, did you say Liz or Bill?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. All right, I'm sorry, Councilor Costello, I'm gonna ask you to repeat what you, had read off before, since now Doug and, Elizabeth are able to participate, so I apologize.
No.
So,
Yeah,
just so they're aware of what you were asking
Yeah.
about.
Thank you both for attending. It's just basically, some of the constituents have requested an update in regards to any funding for sidewalks or any type of road issue. And like I said, we do have a petition here, requesting sidewalks from the corner of James and Malcolm, traveling west on the south side. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like 6 yeses and 1 that said no to the sidewalk on that particular side. Councilor LaBrie asked a great question. He asked how many houses are on that side of the street. And I would say maybe 8 or 10. There aren't that many houses, but it's from Malcolm intersection with James Street to Whitsley Avenue. So that could be a part of my record. But yeah, just if we can get if we could just get an update on money that we received and any payments that would go out for sidewalks or road repair, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Superintendent Batista or City Engineer Ellis, which one of you wanted to respond?
So, hold on a second, sorry. So the James Street sidewalk that's being requested right now, I have tasked engineering with looking at whether or not, what are the constraints, what would it take to do that? We are working on putting together a sidewalk project for the fall, but unfortunately, that area is going to be under construction for a couple years. And for us to go and, do another project, it probably wouldn't be a good idea, because it's an active construction area. As far as monies, we get our Chapter 90 money. And, we were fortunate this last fiscal year, or in our current fiscal year, we got additional funds because there was a surplus from Chapter 90. We have, because of that, we have a large resurfacing project, and I think Doug, you could probably better speak to that on when that'll commence or start. It was bid. Doug,
Yeah, they've been giving the notice to proceed, and we just haven't had we don't have a schedule from there just yet. But yeah, we have it's 2.6 million in resurfacing that project entails.
So Mary Beth, are you only looking for sidewalk? Is the James Street sidewalk the main main reason for this request?
Well, really, the reason for the request is, we were, not from you guys, but from, different sources. I got information that the Chapter 90 money that came in, these streets are already been selected, which is great. That's terrific. But then somebody was under the impression that there were actually more chapter monies given to us and there'd be more streets added. And I don't know if that's accurate.
No, so,
No, I mean, we have a project, we've put it together, we bid it out. We're not adding
Okay,
so
to
Mary
that
Beth,
project. I mean, it's already bid, it's already been awarded.
yep.
So we
Mary-
would,
Oh.
our next go around would happen. Sorry, Liz.
so annually, we get around 1.3 million in Chapter 90 money. Because of just the way projects worked out last year, we had, plus the surplus that we received, our resurfacing project that was just awarded is sorry, Doug, what was the total value of that? 3 million?
About 2.6 million.
2.
Yeah, 2.6.
Okay, sorry about, so 2.6. So we had the 1 year of Chapter 90 plus, I think we received an extra 600,000, Doug? Is that correct?
You talking about the RAP money?
Not RAP money, the additional Chapter 90 monies that we received this year. RAP we did last year, we
Right,
did
that was
East
last
Main
year.
Street. But, so with that, we put together a pretty significant list for road resurfacing. Not all roads qualify for resurfacing, because they have to, they can't have extensive cracking and cracking that goes down a certain depth. So because of that, we can't just resurface all roads. So we put together a list based on the engineering department's assessment and our road assessment that we did a few years ago. And we came up with that list. We have another list of roads that need to be fully reconstructed, and that is going to be another project, but those are full depth reconstructions. One of them is under bond from when Koss was still mayor, which is Old Fuller Road Extension. And then there's a few other roads that have been of significant request, which is Griffith Road and I think Johnson, over off of James Street. And so that's another project, and that's likely going to be something that the mayor is going to have to fund because we won't have enough Chapter 90 money to cover that. Then we plan also on doing some crack sealing, which is really important on maintaining the life of our pavement. And we also anticipate a sidewalk project. So those are things that are slated for this calendar year.
Okay, thank you. So that's basically all I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open it up to, public input. Public input is 3 minutes or less. Like any comments to the chair, so I'm gonna open it up to public input, so. Microphone's over there, if they moved it, it shrunk, so.
Thank you. Lisa Bienvenu, 34 Everett Street. I came because I was interested in this because I've been interested in the safety on the streets for quite some time now. I'm a little disappointed that this meeting was at 6 o'clock because I actually had to look twice because there's another city council meeting at 6:30. And I felt like that, I realized it was only one agenda item, but I feel like it did not give the respect to this topic that it needs for the public to come to this, that people wouldn't realize that it's, that it's two separate subcommittee meetings. But that's my personal opinion, because I do think this is a very important topic. I'd be curious about what the sidewalk projects are that are going to be done. That's kind of slated, because that was a little vague. But I also thought the comment of asking how many houses were on that James Street, and I actually live up in Fairview and walk that way, and I don't live on James Street, and yet I've tried to walk that way, even to get to the side streets that are on the other side of the road, not on the river side, and it's very dangerous because there just aren't sidewalks there. So whether it's only 10 houses there or not, I've been saying for a long time that there has to be a plan, and this isn't the fault of the DPW department or Superintendent Batista or City Engineer Ellis. This has to be a guiding voice from the mayor's office and with the city council kind of maneuvering this, that there's monies that come in, but we have to have priorities of what we want to do for this city. And if we want to make this a walkable city, then this has to be something that's constantly thought about. And I realize that it's a big, there's with the sewer separation project that's happening up in Fairview, that this is a long-going project. It's a multi-year project to get that done. But, is anything being piggybacked with this after it's done, which after the pipe is put in, any thought to sidewalks and stuff? Because it should be a planned thing to do. And really that's what we should be thinking about as a city when we're planning this, for comprehensive improvements for the quality of life for people to be walking around on these streets. And it's not whether it's 5 houses, because the Fairview area is more than the 10 houses that border that area. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public input?
Can I just?
Anyone else for public input? I'm sorry, go ahead, Mary.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I want to thank Mrs. Bienvenue for her comments, because that particular area is not safe to walk on. Okay, and I can understand the concern for sidewalks, because when you walk across from one section of James Street to another, you're really dodging cars, and it's not safe. It's heavily traveled, and the neighbors now are discussing trucks. And I just spoke with City Engineer Ellis that they don't want trucks to go up from James Street, because there are no sidewalks, from James Street to Prospect, because they find that the 18-wheelers are just too dangerous. They're too large for that type of residential area. And now there's a controversy in regards to trucks.
I'm sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure there's no one else.
Yeah, okay, I just want to, but if I could just finish this.
Okay.
In regards to the no trucks, there are some sections of the city that simply have no trucks. And then there are other sections of the city that have commercial vehicle exclusion. And this is all tied in with updates in regards to sidewalks and roads. And I have some residents that live in Ward 9 that are extremely upset with the city, because one particular resident wants a no truck sign on James Street. But the city is indicating to the residents that a no truck sign is not enforceable. So if one section of the city has a no truck sign, and another section of the city is requesting a no truck sign, and they don't get it, that causes anger and a little bit of behavior issues. Thank you.
Anyone else here for, public input? Anyone else here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input?
Can I respond to a couple of,
We're doing public input, I just wanna make sure no one else is on Zoom for public input, so. But I'll get back to you in a moment. Seeing none, can I have a
Motion to close public input.
Second, motion to close public input, please call roll.
Counselor Scrampitt,
Yes,
Labrie,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
public input is closed. And, I will allow, Superintendent Batista, if you can go ahead and speak.
hi, yeah, I just wanted to respond to the comment about the sidewalk project being vague. It's because we haven't fully developed a list of all the sidewalks that we're going to be including with this project, so it's still in process and it's planned for the fall. So I don't want to speak about a project that isn't fully complete yet. And as of the end of this week, we're down to only 2 employees in the engineering department, and that includes Doug Ellis. With a new hire, hopefully soon will start. So, you know, we're trying to also manage workload too. I just want to make that clear. It's not that we're trying to be vague or like we're not, you know, doing our due diligence and putting together an appropriate project and sharing that at this meeting. It's that it's not fully complete yet.
Thank you. Any other questions from the committee members?
No, I'm good. Motion to place on file, please.
Second motion to place on file. Please call the roll.
Counselor Scrampitt,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes. Thank you.
Alrighty, and the motion placed on file has been approved. This will go for our first meeting in May. Motion to approve a motion to approve the minutes of the DPW Public Works meeting from March 21st, 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 21st.
Motion seconded to approve the minutes from March 21st, 2024. Roll on that. for the
Yes,
minutes.
yes.
Please call the roll.
Counselor Scrampitt,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
And can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded motion to adjourn. Please call the roll for adjournment.
Counselor Scrampitt,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
Hey, thank you all for coming, and we'll be starting the ordinance committee meeting in a few minutes. Thank you. The ordinance, committee meeting for Tuesday, April 23rd at 6:30 PM to order. Please call the roll.
Counselors Scrampitt,
Here.
Brooks, Ariaga.
Here.
Labrie,
Here.
Roy.
Okay. And no one is participating. Also in attendance with us is our, Attorney Tim Riley, McGillis, and our administrator. And, Compliance with the open meeting laws of the city of Chicopee. City of Chicopee is recording this meeting. Is anyone else in the audience or on Zoom, video or audio taping this meeting? If so, please state your name and organization. Anyone in the audience saying that they're recording the meeting? Recording the meeting, so we'll move on. Item 1. Item 1. Be ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding 2 following in schedule. Parking regulations. Old Lyman Road, both sides from Britton Street, distance of 270 feet southerly thereof, parking prohibited. That, was filed by, Councilor Piniac Costello. Speak on this during public input. Public input is 3 minutes or less. Please direct any comments to the chair. So we will open it up to public input on item 1. Want to hear from public input?
I think there are.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Mary Beth Piniac Costello, 66 Voss Avenue. This was actually a request by Police Chief Patrick Major, and I appreciate his concern in regards to public safety. And Old Lyman Road is a road that's familiar to most people in the city because it was controversial in regards to becoming from a two-way street to a one-way street. And there are sections of Old Lyman Road that are extremely narrow, roughly 16 feet. And so the police chief did say to me that because it is a narrow street, 2 cars can't go by at the same time, that we should probably look at also having no parking on that street. I then referred it to Doug Ellis, the city engineer, and he also looked at it, and he made his recommendations. Thank you.
Before we continue with public input, City Engineer Ellis, did you have anything you wanted to comment on this one?
Nope, the wording that was there is fine. Distance is 270 feet south of Britain.
Okay, thank you. And we'll continue with public input. Anyone else here for public input that wishes to speak, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address, please.
Evening, Rich Saborn, 65 Old Lyman Road. I would question whether the signage has to go out 270 feet as the road starts to widen out after 200 feet. And I would also question whether you need no parking signs on both sides, as it is a one-way street, and the drivers are always heading, the signage would be on their left side if they're going down a one-way street. So I don't believe you need signage on both sides. I think if you had signage on the west side of the street that said no parking either side would be adequate, as opposed to parading no parking signs down our residential street.
I'm sorry, which side were you saying that the signage should be
The
on?
west side, which would be at the highway, towards the highway side, and having the, no parking either side versus parading signs on both sides of the street. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What else here for public input? If there's anyone else here for public. What else here for public input that wants to speak on this item? Anyone on Zoom that wants to speak?
Motion to close public input.
Second, motion to close public input. Please call the roll, close public input.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga, Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. I will, ask city engineer Ellis to comment on that, about just only on the west side.
Well, you know, when you're traveling down any way, typically there are two ways, you're looking on the right side for your signage. Now, on this road, that would be the east side. But you don't want people parking on either side, so. Not signage on both sides, are they gonna see the sign on the right-hand side of the road to not park on the left-hand side? Sides.
Questions from the committee?
No, just a question, yeah, please, yes. It said no. Through the chair, to our city engineer, the gentleman said, 200 feet would be sufficient. What's your opinion?
Well, 270 is where it gets back to full width again. I measured that in the field.
Okay, so that's where it gets back to full.
That's where it's back to full width.
Okay, thank you.
What else on the committee? I have a motion.
A motion to approve, item 1.
Motion and second to approve item 1. Call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Arriaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. This will go before the full city council, the first day in May. If there are questions about this between now and that, you can certainly speak to your, ward counselor, and at that meeting, they can additional motions on what to do with it. Just a recommending body to the full city council. This has been approved, and will go before the full city council at the first Tuesday in item number 2. Be ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 2 was amended on February 21st, 1995.
Thank you for.
Be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Isolated stop signs and signal lights. Boudry Avenue, traveling west at the intersection of Boudry Avenue and Montcalm Street. Isolated stop sign. I will ask the city engineer to just speak on this one, and then we'll open it up to public input.
Yeah, the wording's fine for that.
Anyone here for public input? Here for public input? On Zoom for public input? On Zoom for public input?
Motion.
Chairman, do you want me to?
Out there for public input?
Yeah, please.
So motion to close public input.
Motion to take a 2-minute recess.
Okay, motion to take a 2-minute recess.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. Thank you. Oh, a roll call, please. Gary did the.
Yeah.
Okay. Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Pause for 2 minutes.
Excuse me.
All set? Okay. Has it been, I haven't paid attention, has it been 2 minutes?
Probably, yes.
Would the motion be to resume?
To return to the meeting?
Oh, can I have a motion to return to the regular order of business?
Motion to return to the regular order of business.
I'll second that. Please call the roll to return to the regular order of business.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And we are back. And we are still on item 1. I'm sorry, on item 2. Well, no, we're technically, we still have public input open, and I'll just do it one more time. Anyone here for public input? Anyone here for public input in the audience? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Okay. Motion?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Okay, we've already heard from here. Are there any, questions from the committee? I have a motion then. Motion approved, item 2. Call the roll.
Who did?
Gary did.
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry did, I'm sorry. Okay, so we have a motion to approve item 2.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
No, we changed it because originally we had 2 items on Public Works. Let me know where we are. So we adjusted the agenda and we moved up. And the motion to, for the ordinance has been approved, and we'll go before. Item number 3. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding 2 following in schedule: isolated stop signs and signals. Duffy Street, traveling north at the intersection of the road and Duffy. Stop sign.
Wording's
Purchasing
fine.
engineer?
Nope, the wording's fine on that.
Anyone here for public input? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Motion.
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Sure.
Through the chair,
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I can start reading the open meeting law while I don't know. I think it was certain items, like appropriations have to be roll call, but I don't know what the list is. I don't know what is required. Sorry. I suggest keep doing roll call until I can give you a legal opinion.
We're moving it along, I think, so. Any other questions from the committee? Motion, please. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved, and will go before the full city council. For our first reading. Be it ordered by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, of chapter 260, first 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Latest stop signs and signal lights, Arnold Avenue, traveling east, intersection of Oldfield Road, isolated stop sign, held by, Counselor Goff. Lois, do you have any comments on this?
Nope, no, I put in the wording for this.
Okay, anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Motion.
Motion to close public input.
Second to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
Opposed? Any questions from the members? Questions from the committee members? Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve item 4.
Motion second to approve, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. And the order has been approved, and will go before the full city council the first Tuesday in May. Item number 5, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, the chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to schedule isolated stop signs and signal lights, Freedom Street, traveling east at the intersection of Oldfield Road, isolated stop sign, filed by Councilor Goff. Mayor Ellis, do you have any comments on this?
Nope, I give her the wording for that.
Okay, all right. Anyone here for public input? Anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Motion.
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Public input is closed. Any questions from the committee members? Can I have a motion? Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Proposed ordinance has been approved, and this will go before the full city council in our first. And number 6, be it ordered by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows on chapter 260. Be further amended by adding following schedule, isolated stop signs and signal lights. Up a Farm Road, traveling east at the intersection of Hill Road, isolated stop sign. Held by, Counselor Goff. City Engineer Ellis, do you have any comments?
Nope, wording's fine there.
Anyone here for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Guys for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And public input is closed. Any questions from the committee members?
Motion to approve item 6.
Motion second to approve item 6. Call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. And the proposed ordinance has been approved by the committee. It will go before the full city council for first, meeting. Item number 7. Bless you. Item number 7, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Bus stops / Peralt Street southbound, move back north 100 feet. Bus stop number 6447. This by the engineer Doug Ellis.
Yeah, no, this, makes sense because it moves it away from that newly installed crosswalk at Whitman. Sometimes when you have the bus stop right at the crosswalk, I've done it myself. You stop somebody, somebody's just waiting for the bus, you think they're crossing the street. So it's good to get a little distance between the two of them.
Okay, so this is a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to confirm that from you. All right. Anyone here for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Questions from the committee? I have a motion then.
Motion to approve item number 7.
Seconded to approve item number 7. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Okay, the proposed ordinance has been approved by the ordinance committee. It will go to the full city council for its first, meeting in May. Item number 8. Be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended, adding to the following in schedule. Parking regulations. Lot Avenue, both sides from Chicopee Street for a distance of 35 feet, as recommended by engineering. No parking, standing, or stopping. This order was filed. The engineer Ellis.
Okay, on this one, so, Councilor Corshane, proposed 35 feet. Now, several years ago, you approved, 100 feet on the south side for no parking. Now, this is right in front of Rogers Ice Cream. Technically, no parking. Someone can sit there as long as they're in their car and they don't leave. Which, in an ice cream shop, somebody runs in and is getting the ice cream. So I think it would be good to have the no parking, standing, or stopping. That way, nobody can park there, no unloading of goods or passengers, and do that for the 100 feet on that south side. Because they can just picture, you've got the their takeout windows on, Portalette. And, kids are coming in and out, and you've got cars there. There's just too much chance of somebody running in between a car, what have you. So I think it's a good idea to just have the no parking, standing, or stopping extended 100 feet on the south side. On the north side, at 35 feet is good. Yeah, there's also in the time limit parking, there's a 15-minute parking there that extends 100 feet. So we kind of have some contradictory ordinances right now. What I would suggest is we approve the no standing, stopping, or parking for 100 feet on the south side and repeal the other two. I mean, I know there's nothing before you to repeal the other two, but that could be done.
I'm reading,
next.
that, Councilor Corshane gave the distance, and that's recommended by engineering. The west side, other distance, which I understand, better code, and then have Bill, Councilor Corshane file orders, one for each side of the street.
I'm sorry, I was researching an answer to Councilor Roy's question about roll call votes, so I didn't exactly get the gist of your question. I'm sorry to ask you to repeat yourself.
No, it's okay. This original order was for, both sides of the street for no parking, no standing or stopping, 35 feet. Engineering has, made recommendations, but they want it to be 100 feet on
The south side.
south side, 100 on the south side, and then 40 feet on the north side. And obviously, no one have to file orders to delete the ordinances that are also conflicting. And we, as a subcommittee, basically alter what Bill had wrote. I mean, we're not just simply substituting distance. Well, we're kind of substituting the distance, but we're breaking it down for different distances, north side and the south side. So I don't know how much we can modify with the ordinance, proposed ordinance, before it would be, we have to refile it in the form of that engineering presented.
It sounds like a major change, if you're saying going from one side of the street to the other. Is that what you're saying?
It's for both sides, but there's gonna be different distances on each side of the street now. Bill, I think, was okay with that, the way he wrote it, saying, the recommendation made well, but don't know how much we can change those ordinance before.
Well, if you're concerned about Councilor Corshane, if it's his item, then maybe you want to just let him refile, because it's his item. You're gonna change it without him being here. It's up to you. If you wanna try to amend it,
Doug, do you think
you
it
can
was
amend
better if he refiled it, separately and then also added these deletions as well?
It would be cleaner. That way you get the other contradictory ones off the books at the same time. That does make sense.
I guess I would say postpone to the call of the chair, and then Bill can discuss it at the next meeting if he wants to, file two separate orders, and if he does that, then this can just sit in committee and we can let it die or kill it. Gonna do, that would be my preference, is that he file two orders. I mean, I understand he's saying that he's kind of leaving it up to engineering, but coming up with different distances for each side of the street. I just don't wanna get into delaying it.
Motion to postpone to the call of the chair.
Second, well, I'm sorry, we already do public input on this?
No.
I didn't, okay, all right, thank you. Anyone here for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Can I
Motion to
have-
close public input.
Motion second to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And public input is closed. And, I guess, any more questions from the committee? I think we've kind of talked about.
Yeah, I think give Bill a chance to clean it up.
All right. Okay, can you just restate your
Yeah,
motion?
motion to postpone to the call of the chair.
Second, the, motion to postpone the call of chair, please call roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And this has been approved to postpone the call of chair, and this will go before the full city council at its first,
Tomorrow.
all right.
His numbers are off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't follow the numbers.
That's why I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Item number 9, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: isolated stop signs and signal lights, Morrow Court, traveling south at the section of Morrow Drive, isolated stop sign, Chomsky. City Engineer Ellis, do you have any,
Nope, the
comments
wording's
on
fine.
this? Wording's fine?
Counselor Chomsky asked me for that, yep.
All right. Anyone here for public input in the audience? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? On Zoom for public input?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And public input is closed. Any, questions from the committee? I have a motion then, please.
Motion to approve item 9.
Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
A little old, yeah.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved by the committee and will go before the full city council for its first meeting. Item number 10, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 is amended on February 1st, 1995, be further amended by adding two following schedule: isolated stop sign signal lights, local circle, traveling south at the intersection of Morrow Drive, isolated stop sign. Chomsky. Mayor Ellis, do you have any comments on this?
Nope, wording's good.
Okay. Anyone here for public input in the audience? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Zoom for public input.
Motion to close public input.
Second to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
Okay, any questions from the committee? Move item 10, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. And the proposed ordinance has been approved and will go before the full city council for its first, meeting in May. Item number 11, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: isolated stop signs and signal lights. Roy Drive, traveling south at the intersection of Opal Circle, isolated stop sign, filed by Kowalski. Here else, you have any comments on this?
Nope, wording's good.
Okay. Anyone here for public input in the audience? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? On Zoom for public input?
Motion close public input.
Motion second, close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Okay, public input is closed. Any questions from the committee? None, any?
Pass item number 11.
Call the roll?
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved and will go before the full city council its first meeting. Item number 12, be it ordered by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows. Chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: isolated stop sign signal lights. Roy Drive, traveling east at the intersection of Opal Circle, isolated stop sign. And city engineer Ellis, do you have any comments on this?
Nope, wording's good.
All right. Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? On Zoom for public input?
Motion close public input.
Motion second, close public input. Question, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
Any questions from the committee? Motion then. 12. Call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved, and this will go before the full city council at our first meeting in May. Item number 13, get ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, in chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: isolated stop sign and signal lights, Prospect Street, heading east to the intersection of Memorial Drive, isolated stop sign. Costello, city engineer, do you have any comments?
Nope, wording's good.
Okay. Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? On Zoom for public input?
Motion close public input.
Motion second, close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And public input is closed. Any comments or questions from the committee? Motion? Call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved, and this will go before the full city council at our first meeting in May. Item number 14. Be it ordered by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 is amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Other, no turn on red, Broadway Street, traveling south at the intersection of Abbey Memorial Drive, no turn on red, filed by city councilor Fred Crampets. City engineer, do you have any comments?
Nope, this is the wording we, worked out.
Okay, yeah, we had worked on this, there's been some safety concerns happen for the red lights. Reinforcing stuff. Anyone here for public input in the audience? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Please, have a motion?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second, close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And public input is closed. Any questions from the committee? Motion then, please. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. Thank you. And the proposed ordinance has been approved by the committee and will go before the full city council for a vote on the first meeting in May.
Already did.
I think we did that, right?
Yeah. We did it. We did it. We did it.
I thought I was the one falling asleep, but, okay. Okay, item 15. Be ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 is amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Isolated stop sign signal lights, Loretta Street, traveling south at the intersection of Loretta Street and New Ludlow Road, isolated stop sign, followed by Councilor Piniac Costello. City council, City engineer Doug Ellis, any comments?
Nope, wording's good.
Okay. Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? On Zoom for public input?
Motion to close public input.
Second, close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And public input is closed. Any questions from the committee? Motion. Motion second to approve item 15. Call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
Yes. And the ordinance has been approved and will go before the full city council at its first meeting in May. Minutes. Motion for the ordinance committee meeting minutes for March 21st, 2024.
Motion to approve minutes of March 21st.
Okay, second, motion to approve, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
And last but not least, motion second to adjourn, please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Roy.
All righty, and the meeting is closed, thank you all.